Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you and getting into my monthly budget for the month of August. So as you can see, I do have stickers laid down for all my bills and all the things. I do think I need a couple more. So hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. I have my Sara Marie sticker album and I have all the stickers from this kit. I just pop them in here, the ones I didn't use, and I'm going to go ahead and do a couple things. So I was hoping we would get my son's health insurance drop for my husband's plan. I don't think we're going to get in touch with our provider in time. My husband and my son have to do it together because he is independent and he is, we don't have guardianship. We can't just drop him. So unless he ages out. So right now we're just going to put it in the budget, and if we can get it dropped before August bill hits, then great. If not, it's budgeted and it won't be a problem. He is getting TRICARE insurance with us, and he gets Medicaid, and we were just going to have him full Medicaid because he gets he's autistic and he gets special needs care. So that is why we're doing that. And I think, let's see, what color do I want to use? I think I want to use this light blue one here and put Humana Health. And $570. Now this comes out of his SSI that he pays us every month for rent. And when he makes the rent payment, we make this payment. So it kind of comes out in the wash in the end, but I don't think we really need to be paying for that and getting free health care for him at the same time if the free is going to cover everything. So hopefully we can get it canceled in time. My husband's the one that has to do it, and until he does it, I can't really change anything. But that's okay. The other thing I wanted to remember is my husband's personal money, and that's going to be down here. It's always the third paycheck of the month. I think I'm going to use a dark blue, and I call that Visa Go card. And that's $200. And that's his personal money, and it's a prepaid card, and this just keeps it separate from the bills so that he can spend it on whatever he wants without having to interfere with our bills and our bank account that all the money goes into. So I think it's really neat. He doesn't have any fees or anything for this card or anything like that. It's with our bank, and I just think it's a great way of compartmentalizing the money and still giving people, the family members, freedom to, do what they want with their own money. So I think it's great. All right, now that I've done that, welcome to the channel again. If you're new here, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited for August, and we're going to slow down this month, I hope. July's been busy. In fact, today is July. What is today's date? 22nd. So I'm filming this a bit early, but this will go up a few days before August, so this will be ready for you guys. The reason I'm doing this early is because I have vacation with my son on the 25th through the 31st. We will be out of town. My husband and my youngest son will be at home. My oldest son and I will be out of town. So if you've seen my videos before, then you know what's going on. And that's pretty cool. I do have the amount. There's some things I don't have the amount for yet, but I'm going to write down what I have in my notes here. And I did total up our sinking funds right here. And let's see, 44. Same as July. I'm going to put what our water bill was last month. If I could find it, there it is. About $36. I just round it even. And then I think the electric bill, because we were out of town for a week, I don't think it's going to be as high as it could be. And because I had the AC turned down quite a bit. So I put $150 for that. So now what I need to do is take all these numbers and everything that I've laid on my calendar. Now I lay a lot of stuff on here. Most people don't put this much on their bill calendar. This is my bill calendar. But I have to have everything laid out, or something's going to get not paid along the way. Even though most of this is auto draft, if I don't account for it, I'm going to go negative in my bank account. So I really have to lay everything out to make sure I know what I'm looking at and talking about and spending money on. So let me go ahead and get my notes here. Okay, I am ready. So I have my notes, and what I'm going to do, I already have all this written out on a small piece of paper just to have off to the side to reference, but I want to go ahead and find my monthly budget layout here where I do the actual numbers. So this is where I come up with, do I have enough money for the entire month to cover the expenses I expect to spend and bills and things like that for the month of August. This is for the entire month. This is one snapshot, one day, one moment in time of what I know as of today, and that could change tomorrow, and it usually does. So I leave room for myself to make sure I can make this as flexible as possible, but still have everything laid out. I have all the income types that I plan to budget for. I have all the fixed expenses and then the variable expenses and what I could potentially save at the end of the month. The potential is usually what's left over in the checking account after everything's been bought and paid for, or bills have already come out, and this is the buffer of the checking account. This is the money that's left over. I call it a buffer. So that just sits there until the end of the month, and then at the end of every month I go back to zero and I take whatever's left in the checking account and put it in my savings account. Right now, I'm just throwing it back in where we have our vacation fund in our money market account. And that is so that as the summer keeps going on and activities we want to do and places we want to go, that keeps getting replenished right now. I don't really have a lot of financial goals, mainly because we are consumer debt free, but not mortgage debt free. So the only debt I really focus on is the mortgage, and that's automated with the monthly payments. So the monthly payment you see here in a minute is the payment, includes an extra mortgage principal payment. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to put all the types of income, expenses, and variable, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do the numbers as far as the budget goes. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So I have my numbers. I have everything written down as far as what income type and what bill and variable expenses I have. So let's go ahead and look at all the numbers. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit and hopefully it doesn't blur out too much. Let's hope it doesn't. So for the military retirement, I have here, that is for my husband's retirement pension. He gets $1,759.30 a month, every month for the retirement. He also gets VA disability, which is $2,353.39. Rent is our son. He has SSI, as I mentioned before, and he pays us rent. He pays $774. He gets to keep $130. He usually saves it up, and we go to GalaxyCon every year, which is what we're doing this year, and then he starts over again in August. So there's that. And then if I have dividends, which are like 2 pennies usually in our bank account, when they deposit that, I usually add it to the actual here. I forgot to give myself a line for other, so I will also include any other income. I'll just make note of it and then total it up right here for the actual. My husband gets 2 salary checks. Those are $2,552.36, and they're the same every month unless he gets overtime, which he actually takes. If he has too much overtime, or if he has any overtime, he gets to go into work late or come home early, that kind of thing. So it evens out to 40 hours a week. So he never really gets overtime. So that is the income type. So let's go ahead and total up what we have for income. Okay, we have here in total $9,991.41 to work with. That is our estimated income. It does fluctuate month to month depending on any extras that kind of happen. So we'll have to wait and see there. And sometimes I move money from savings into checking, and I will include it in the income even though it's income from the past. I'll still include it here so the numbers would balance out when I do whenever something's charged to our checking account and things like that. So yeah. As you see down here, I kind of written little boxes next to some of these because I write out everything in detail. I decided last month, and it worked really well, and this month to just do checks into these little boxes. So I have 4 tithing areas that I have in the month. I'll show you that on the calendar. $88 to PHC tithe, which is a tithing for us. There's a local pantry that's very heavily used here. It's called God's Pantry. So we do $87 to that. And then I also tithe, and that tithes actually the military retirement, that income that comes in. VA disability is tithed here at the Greater Europe Missions. And then over here is the salary tithe, where there's a payday and a payday. That's $256 for each payday. So I have to combine all those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I think I forgot a square. Let's get that done. And just add a square there. And I take all those numbers from this calendar here, and that gives me a total there. And then when I check them all off, I know which tithe it goes to because I'm thinking in order of when they come out on the calendar. So a lot happens on the first of the month, so I usually take the previous month's block too, to kind of distribute, you know, all the different budget stickers here. So 88, 87, 256, 75, and 256 and 256. There we go. That is $943.75. Tithing is a very important part of our lives. It's a form of worship for us, and God has been very good to us with this. So this is why we do this. 94375, and now we can move on to the next things. Let's see, I think I'll leave my notebook open because I might flip back for the other things I have squares for as well. So the mortgage I have, this includes the mortgage and the principal only payment in addition to the mortgage. So principal only payment is $550. If you add it to the mortgage is $2,477.67. Spectrum is our internet cable phone, and that's $192.32. I wasn't sure if this month was going to have the same amount because it's been a year since we've had it. I might call and see if the amount's going to change, if that special or that plan that we got is going to change. I'm not sure. So there's that. Now I have 3 pay periods. So the first of the month, and let's see, the 11th and the 25th. Those are the 3 dates that we have income coming in, and that total for Roth IRA, which is $171.00 per paycheck period, is what I put for my personal Roth IRA. My husband contributes to it, but it's for me, and that's $513 in total, and I just checked those off. I had to get creative with some of these boxes because they didn't quite fit, but there are 5 subscriptions. So I'm going to go back and we're going to total those together. So what I count as a subscription is things like Amazon Music, $9.53. That's my husband, so I just go ahead and put that under subscriptions. Paramount Plus, I have that one. Oops. All right, and then I have HP Instant Ink, $6.35. Oops. All right, and then what's the next one I have? I have to go through all these, make sure it's Discovery Plus, $6.99, and storage for my phone, and I think that is it. and that gives me $31.85, and that's what my notes say. So those are the ones that I consider, that are subscriptions and that I can total together, and I just check them off as they come out, and I know by when they check, where I've checked it off when it comes out. I write everything in order pretty much when I'm doing my budgets based on the calendar, not so much priority. So there we go. Geico went up about $3. Was not happy with that, but $173.87. HelloFresh is going to happen 4 times. One of those times I got a dish that it's going to have, let's see, I think $3.99 times 2, $7.89 extra, but I'll just write it as a line item or miscellaneous, or not miscellaneous, or a grocery item or something like that. But I'm going to do the $69.93 standard, times 4, and that gives me $279.72. I think that's right as far as every Thursday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I have 5. Oh, I gotta add one more. 69.93. So let me erase this. Frixon erasable pens, I tell you, they're my best friend. As far as stationery goes, I love these when I make mistakes like this. Okay, so $349.65. Dr. Odell is going to be $140. Unless my husband has a reevaluation. I know I just did mine recently for our chiropractor. He evaluates us every 3 months, I think. Life insurance, that is for me and my family for $87.56. And then Vivint, $65.82, and that's our home security system. USCCA is my husband's subscription, $339.17. Sinking funds this month are going to be the same as last month, $436.44. And just to show you my sinking funds, what goes into that, if you've never seen that before, I don't show them very often, but these are my sinking funds over here. I have Amazon Prime, Disney Plus. These are things I do annual. Most of the time, if it's annual, quarterly, or every other month, I do it in a sinking fund because I can just store the money up in there and make sure I have one total every month. And whenever these things happen, as far as needing a payment, then I just transfer it from the savings account that I have the sinking funds in, and I either put it on, if it got charged on the credit card, it goes to the credit card, or if it got charged to our checking account, I repay the checking account with whatever bill came out. So like in September, Amazon Prime is going to come due, so that's going to wipe that completely out. And what I'll do there is, I think it goes onto the credit card, so I'll just make a payment from the account to the credit card. So that's how that works. If you notice I'm out of breath or I'm not feeling exactly well, but I did want to get this up before you guys. Before I went out of town, I think I just have a little cold. I need to get some rest and stuff like that after all this traveling. And it just kind of wore me out a little bit. So I do apologize for that. I am an asthmatic, so it is hard to breathe right now. But that is what my sinking funds are, and this is how much I add to all of them. And this is the total of my account down here at the bottom. So back to the monthly budget here. Let's see, Visa Go card, that's my husband's personal money. That's $200. And then water. So I'm putting $36 for the budget. And that's because that's what it was last month, a little more, a little less. The fact that we were out of town and didn't use as much water in July because we weren't showering or running the dishwasher and things like that and laundry for about a week. That might fluctuate and change a little lower than that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And I'm expecting the electric to be about the same. It's $150 this last month in July. So I put $150 this month instead of the usual $55 and $200. I just dropped it down. Grocery household, I'm doing $1,500 again. It's just you can't get cheap groceries. I'm just sorry, you just can't. I'm tired of fighting and hunting and doing all that. Restaurants, I am dropping by $100 this month. Not eating out nearly as much, I hope. And then miscellaneous, $500 as well. My personal spending is part of that as well. It's just easier to put it under one category. Gasoline, I'm going to do $250. The trip my son and I are going on to GalaxyCon, the gas money to drive there and back is actually coming out of vacation fund, not out of the monthly budget. So I don't have to worry about that too much, I don't think. And then copay is $100. This time, it's probably really, really high, but I like that cushion. Kind of gives me cushion for everything else, because whatever is not spent in the spending categories, you know, it's already sitting in the checking account, so that's the buffer, the checking account. So if I don't spend it all, it's just sitting there, and it could be used for something else or saved later at the end of the month. Budgeted is always at zero until something happens and I need to make a decision. And unplanned purchases and stuff like that. Humana Health, I'm hoping we can not have to pay this, but that's up to my husband and my son to get that done. And since he's going out of town with me next week, I don't think it's going to get done before the end of the month. But we can cross our fingers and hope. So there we go. Let's total up all these fixed expenses and then the variable expenses, and then come up with a total potential savings based on the income, and make sure we have enough income to cover all these expenses. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so for our fixed expenses here, move this up just a little bit. $5,654.10. There we go. Now let's see what we got for our variable budget. Okay, no change, but that's okay. Usually there's some change in there. $3,606. 0 cents. There we go. So, yep, that's what I got there. Now we need to know how much the income minus the fixed and variable expenses. Okay, so we have left over $731.31. So this is a potential savings here. At the end of the month, that number will vary depending on what happens in the month, but I count this for the month, the buffer, the checking account. And this is where I get my numbers as far as my spending categories, and I divide them by 5 weeks. August, I think, is typically a 5-week month. So when I do my weekly check-in, this is where the numbers are coming from: the $1,500, the $500, the $550, the $250, the copay $100. All of those numbers will be kind of off to the side. I really just track the first 3: grocery, household, restaurants, and miscellaneous in my weekly check-in. And then paycheck to paycheck, I track the gasoline and the copay, because they don't vary nearly as much. I kind of know, unless we have a big trip or something extra we're not expecting, I know pretty much what's going to happen every month. And these numbers work well for me. So that's why I do that. And we'll see if we get to keep that $570 or not. Let's pray that we do, but if not, it's okay. One more month. God will replenish anything that we have to spend that we don't get to take care of this month. So I am thankful for that, and that is what I have for my August budget. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you guys. How is your budget doing? Have you gotten your monthly budget set up? Do you make it as detailed as mine, or is it more, I've got my 4 walls and I'm just going to budget what I know I need to know and what works for me? I would love to hear about that. So I hope you have an amazing and blessed day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Did you ever stop and think, why spend too much time just